How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson.
Welcome to
Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
That's a general life philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah.
Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. This is Drew Dinsick, whale capper on Twitter, filling in for the great Preston Johnson as he is traveling today. Excited to be part of the studio production. It's really cool to get to try different things in this space, and I love what Cheetah is doing over here. So fun to be a guest. Qwan Young here, as always, running the board. Superman. Actually, excuse me. You were Spider-Man.
I was Spider-Man. That costume has been around since, I think, 2013. It's worn and tattered. I got some holes in it. I've been in some fights with some super villains. So, yeah, I'm getting my money worth out of that. But pretty soon there'll be an upgrade.
I love it, man. Did you have a good Halloween weekend?
On Saturday, first of all, Friday, you guys know you were betting against me in the playoffs. Don't you ever disrespect Coach Young again. The Wildcats, 20-7. We stomped those girls. We sent them back to where they belong. I won't make any misogynist jokes, but we won 20-7. My team gave up a long scamper. They were talking trash in the middle of the third.
Oh, boy.
And then the girls took off, and I pointed to them. That's what you get. They were being some jackasses, so I had to let them know. But we finished the game. We played 2 games on Friday. We played 1 game on Friday. Easy path to the championship. 11-5. Be there, be square. If we win, we play in the championship. Saturday, we got beat in our flag football playoffs. But then Saturday night, open bar. I don't got it no more, man. I can't do it. I had like 3 drinks, and then they were carrying me out like it was Mike and Scotty in the flu game.
I get it, man. I mean, we got cheated out of Halloween last year, so I wasn't really sure if it was going to be sort of back to normal Halloween around here this year, or if it was going to be like a quiet year again. But the spirit was alive.
It was there.
It was alive. There was a lot of good foolishness going on in my neighborhood. And a lot of trick-or-treaters came through yesterday, so it was a great fun weekend. How about betting wise? NFL treat you well or poorly on Sunday?
Listen, man, I went after the Qwan show on Sunday. I left here and I looked at the slate and I just went to sleep. But it was nasty. The Bengals beat the Jets is one of the main issues that I have.
Well, I mean, Mike White, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Yeah, that was I did not expect that at all. And then, I'm a big Rams guy. They came out, took care of business. For some reason, ungodly reason, I thought the Lions would be able to pull it off against the Eagles, and they got smoked.
Yeah, that was a true defeat. And if you had a tough NFL Sunday, you weren't alone. There was a lot of the most heavily bet sides into the close that really had almost no chance of winning or covering. I saw some pretty decent action come in on Cincinnati all week. That was obviously never coming to fruition. Similarly, the Colts were a hot side. That ended up closing Colts -3. They lose outright. Similarly, we saw a ton of action come through on Cleveland, push that out to 5. They lose outright. Anyone who bet Minnesota at any number lost, even though that closed at 4.5. If you were early ahead of the Dak news, still couldn't get a winner. It was a frustrating NFL Sunday for the market makers in general. A lot of backup quarterbacks did fairly well. I think ultimately there were some pretty obvious takeaways. NFL news just been dominating the headlines today. We have major injury to Derrick Henry. Any truth to the rumor that the Titans reached out to you before they ultimately signed Adrian Peterson?
If they did, that's a horrible decision on their part. I would take Derrick Henry in his knees before I would or his bad foot before I take him in my knees.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're going to bring in Adrian Peterson to tote the rock in King Henry's absence. So interesting to see if he's in game shape, if he can do a decent Derrick Henry impression. because the Tennessee Titans are winning football games and they're winning the AFC South. I think that you can pretty much put a bow on that one. And then similarly, your Rams made an interesting move. Did you see this?
I love it.
They're
all
in.
They don't care about draft picks or anything.
They're tweeting the Rounders gif. Yeah,
that's a bad omen because
yeah, that's a good point. Of course, if you haven't already caught up on this, the LA Rams made a trade. They continue to trade away future assets for current performance. In this case, they bring in Von Miller. Von Miller has had a pretty good season overall. He's gotten to go up against some soft competition, particularly early in the season, but he's doing fine, and he can be a meaningful, impactful player, I think, for this squad. So that was pretty interesting to see the LA Rams make that move. Interesting to note also, looking ahead to these Week 9 NFL lines. You had Rams open up as 6.5 point favorites, depending on where you look, against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday Night Football. Rams back in primetime. With the Derrick Henry news, with the Von Miller news, they're now out to -7.5. So that flipped across 7, based on the availability of a running back. Interesting, we'll say. Yeah, let's. Oh, you know what? Before we get to some callers, it is the first month of November. We have to crown a winner for the month of October. There was a spectacular race. If you didn't catch this, it came down to the wire who was going to be the winner among the callers for the month of October. And if you hadn't already figured it out, congratulations, Ty. Ty was plus 16.91 units to the good. That is an outstanding performance. I did not have a great October. I certainly did not win 16.91 units. So I am in. I'm going to have to catch exactly what it is Ty's angles are here. Hopefully he calls in today and we can get a little insight into what he's looking at this next Week 9 board here as he continues his domination of the most difficult sport to beat in the world, the NFL.
Man. Absolutely hard, and it was a close race up until the weekend. We had some issues in the Discord. I don't know if it was Discord or whatever, but you guys can't be upset at the way things are played. I know Joey had a great month. He went 17-2.
Wow,
as far as win percentage, yeah.
Holy smokes!
So that's a great month by Joey. Ty just hit a plus 1,000 last Monday night. So, the way things shook, kind of feel bad for Joey. But there's always a chance to win this month. We started a new leaderboard, and we're starting with some money because I got the first caller. The first caller is Patrick.
That's correct. Qwan did guess Patrick was going to be our first caller. Should we reach out to Patrick?
He's on right now.
All right. Patrick, welcome to Last Word Cheetah, guest hosted today by Drew Dinsick, the Whale Capper.
What is going on, Drew? Hey, I want to say that there was no collusion between me and Qwan. I guess him and Cheetah have been trying to do this for like 3 weeks, and this is the first time it's ever hit. So, hey, you know what? We're starting November out on the right foot here. So.
Oh, I needed to hear that.
Yeah, and my I got to let you know my blood alcohol level is approximately like 10 to 12% lower than last time I talked to you in Vegas. So I'm going to be a lot more lucid this time. That was a shit show. I'm not going to lie. I actually called
open bars
show
will do
like
that.
6 hours before I met you guys. So and I was drunk when I called the show at like 1 o'clock West Coast time. So it happens in Vegas. So yeah.
Yep, of course.
So. Yeah, and congratulations to Ty on winning the month of October. And since I basically bankrolled the October prize pool by losing that side bet with Cheetah, I mean, Ty, you know what? Don't spend it on buying groceries, paying rent, or like buying shit for your girlfriend. I mean, it should be used for like gambling purposes only. I mean, throw that shit directly back into your bankroll. And you know what? You can even buy like recreational drugs or make your rent a strip club. That's acceptable too. But it's one money, so have some fun with it.
Well, so, how are you looking to attack the board this November? If you didn't already know, there are like 20-something straight days of football. We have Maction on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. rolling right into Thursday Night Football, where we have the gross matchup of Mike White on the road against the Colts. Then more College Friday, College Saturday,
400-yard
NFL
pass to
Sunday.
Mike White.
Yes. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll cover some Mike White in a little bit here. But yeah, where are you going to attack the board? Where are we putting you on the leaderboard?
You know what? I'm going to the game tonight, and I'm going to play Danny Dimes passing yards over 252.5. I mean, we all know the Chiefs' D sucks, but to give it a little more perspective, they rank in the bottom quintile, allowing over 275 passing yards per game. And according to PFF, they have the worst pass rush in the league, which, again, is no surprise to anybody. But in the games that Danny Dimes has started and finished, he's averaged 271 passing yards. And with the projected game state against the Chiefs tonight being 11-point underdogs, I think he's going to have a heavy pass load and blow past this number. And it doesn't hurt that Shepard and Tony are going to be back in the lineup tonight, which will be huge against the secondary. And since Saquon's still out, I don't think Jason Garrett will be tempted to force feed the run game like he has when Saquon's been in the lineup, I hope. So I think that sets up well for this prop to go over.
I think that's a strong read. I really don't know if there's a better bet on the board, and you bring up the key factor, which is game state and health of the wide receivers. Realistically, I think fair projection, probably around 280 here for me, if you made me make a number. So the fact that this was as low as it was, particularly on the open, and maybe this was because wide receiver health was such a question mark, but I think this opened like 235. So it's already taken a little bit of money to the over. I think you found a nice one here, man. Over, what was your number again? Over 250?
Over 252.5. And I think it's gone up a little bit. Yeah. And I think it was artificially low because, I mean, there was one game where he left, I think, after maybe 6-7 snaps. And then last game against the Panthers, he didn't have any wide receivers. So, and he still went over 200 yards. So I think this is a good play.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I especially like the wrinkle you brought up because I had not thought through this, but the Kansas City Chiefs have been very, very anemic in terms of developing pressure in the past through the pass rush. And surely if there's one weakness on this Giants offense, besides the fact that Jason Garrett coordinates them, it's the offensive line. And so if you can avoid, significant pressure, Daniel Dimes should be able to, find some spots 20, 30 yards down the field, get a couple big plays, a ton of yak opportunity with Tony back. So I think this is good, man. Good work.
I mean, I love this. I really like his prop over as well. Tony's prop was only, I think last time I checked, it was like mid-40s. I like that over as well. So I think that'll hit too. But let's ride with Danny Dimes.
Nice, man. Do you have a lead in the game?
At this price, I'd probably lean the Giants. Just because with the defense like that, I mean, that back door is always going to be open when you have a poor defense. Always going to be open. So there's no way I could lay it with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think ultimately this cover or no cover really comes down to Giants in the red zone. They're going to move the ball easily between the 20s against this Chiefs defense. But if Dimes if he bottles it when they're inside the 20 and they're kicking field goals and Chiefs are coming back and scoring touchdowns, and then this is like a 17-point game all of a sudden in the second half, then I'm not feeling great if I'm holding the Giants ticket. So
no, and I mean his legs may become a major factor in the red zone too.
It's a good point
because I know that prop got steamed big time. So I think he'll be using his legs a bit tonight too. So hopefully he can get in the end zone.
Okay, well, fantastic. Interesting. We'll pull up the overall odds for this and talk a little bit about this market since we're on Monday Night Football here before we go to another caller. Chiefs currently sitting at 10.5. There's been a little bit of a late move here in favor of the Chiefs. This is actually something that's been pretty common across a lot of the big favorites in the last month. I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of these double-digit favorites have taken money into the close. You saw it yesterday with the Rams getting bet out to 16.5. You saw it with the Bills getting bet out to 15. That people have an appetite to lay these big prices with these good teams. And we're seeing it again here because this was 9.5 a couple of days ago, tricked up to 10, now 10.5, and that's a non-trivial move. 10 is a pretty important number for this type of a game. Total has also been bet up. This was 51.5, now sitting at a current price of 52. A little bit of a premium on the first half there. Chiefs are 6.5 point favorites, so they got to win the first half by a touchdown to get that home, and then first half total sitting at 26.5. You gonna make any plays on this game, Qwan?
I think it's best for me to sit out this week completely. Like I said, man, I think Patrick made a really good point about bad defenses and the backdoor covers. Like, one thing that I'm like, this is really my first year betting, so learning that bad defenses will give up points when you don't need them to. So I'm probably gonna just stay off of this and get my bearings ready for next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, that was such a strong candy cap. I wonder if we're going to have anyone else try to jump on that as well here. I imagine that's going to be a pretty popular way to attack the board tonight here. We'll say thank you to Patrick. Best of luck on your Daniel Dimes over passing yard prop.
I like the Daniel Dimes twist. Don't give him the Danny. You got to give him the Daniel. He got to earn the Danny.
You know why they call him Danny Dimes, right?
No.
He returns 10 cents on the dollar. So
we got Alec in Ohio's up next.
Oh, let's talk to Alec. Alec, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going, Drew?
Oh, doing about as well as possibly could be. It's the month of November. We got a brand new leaderboard. Where are you attacking this thing?
I'm going to tease the Cowboys and the Dolphins.
Ooh, talk me through this.
I mean, I went 3-6 this week, and I really hate both of these bets, so they must be the right side. I know.
So you like
Denver?
Denver?
Had some sharp analysis.
I got you. You like Denver. Who's Miami playing? Sorry, Miami's playing Houston. You like Houston, so you're fading yourself with a tease on Dallas and Miami.
Basically, yeah.
Well, you're getting some decent numbers here. Let's talk through this a little bit. So Dallas is currently 8.5 right now, best price on the board. Questions swirling, obviously, about the availability of Dak Prescott. But if you tease an 8.5, standard 6-point tease, you're going to get it across 7. You're going to get it across 3. Not a bad look. You got a home team. It's not a divisional game. You got a somewhat reasonable total, 49.5. This pretty much checks everything I would look at in terms of identifying an advantage teaser leg. So Dallas, absolutely solid look. Miami, Houston is a little bit more interesting because this one's at 7. You can go lay 7 right now with Miami against the hapless Houston Texans. Whether Miami should be favored by 7 over anyone is a fair discussion. Yeah, to get 7 down to 1, you're only really crossing 3. That matters. But at the same time, I can see a world where Miami closes 7.5 point favorites here. Is that part of your thinking?
Yeah, basically. I'm just hoping to get a little bit of CLB on the Dolphins on this one.
Gotcha. Did you see anything in Miami against the Buffalo Bills that showed that they may be better than their 1-7?
I mean, I really didn't check the box score on that game. Do you have any analysis on that one?
Well, I was one of the heartbroken Miami backers. Shame on me for not getting the best of the price, but I had that at 14, and Miami was inside the number for it felt like 59 minutes of the 60-minute game. It was just the very tail end that it got away from them there, which was frustrating. But I thought the defense played an honest game against the Buffalo Bills offense that we know can be unbelievably good when they're asked. And really, they held them down to 3 points, well into the second half of that game. So that was pretty impressive performance by them. Tua was uncharacteristically sloppy in a couple of key moments again. So maybe that is becoming part of his identity as a pro. But yeah, Miami's season has slipped away from them pretty aggressively here. This was expected a team that was going to flirt with the playoff spot with the new 7-team format, and they are clearly out of it right now. They do not have their number 1 draft pick next year because they traded it away to Philadelphia to get Jalen Waddle. Don't really love how they're deploying Waddle. Doesn't really fit with Tua's strengths, which is mostly passing over the middle. Not in love with the offensive scheme in general here. So, yeah, there's some serious question marks about what the future holds in Miami. I thought, ultimately I thought the margin was a little closer than the final score suggested against Buffalo this weekend. So I can see Miami being a bet on team because, Houston's a tough handicap right now. Houston looks lifeless for lots of stretches of lots of games. They were losing 38-0 at one point yesterday to the LA Rams. The Rams finally take their foot off the throat, and Houston comes back in and backdoors the closing spread of 16.5. They finish with a 16-point margin of victory there. But surely if this is the Davis Mills show on the road, then you can only count for about 3 points out of Houston. They're not getting you up on the scoreboard. However, there were a lot of signs last week that suggested Tyrod Taylor maybe getting close to ready to go. I'm not sure it really serves Houston's interests to win games, which is what they would be trying to do if they started Taylor. So they may just continue to roll with Davis Mills. But I think ultimately if this is the Davis Mills show on Sunday, Miami probably closes north of 7. So I think getting that locked in now as a teaser leg makes sense to me because this could be a long leg on Sunday.
All right. Love the analysis. I'll let you guys go.
Good stuff, man. So that's 2 on the board so far. I like both of those looks. These guys are sharp players.
We got some sharp bettors.
We got
man.
some sharp players.
Yeah.
I like this.
They love it. This is my favorite caller. We got Carlos in Washington, D.C.
Ooh, Carlos. What part of Washington, D.C.?
Well, I'm working in Northwest D.C., so
Nice.
that's usually just my home base, you know what I'm saying? Drew, you my man, what's going on? You and Andy, I listen to the Deep Dive podcast every week, and you give great analysis, both of you guys. I love it. I wanted to ask you a question. Always wanted to ask you this. Where did you get the name Whale Capper?
Ah, yes. Well, back in the day, I was a swimmer. I swam in college. And I, as a freshman, I had a big baggy drag suit in practice. You wear a drag suit in practice, and then you wear the teeny Speedo to race because there's less drag. But you want to give yourself a little resistance in practice. And so I wore a big baggy drag suit, and it used to kind of hang off my butt a little bit. And you could see like my white tan line at walking around practice, and the seniors would always give me hell about it and be like, "Arr, it's the white whale! It's the white whale!" And so then I wanted a Twitter account. Ironically, I was like, well, the cool thing to do is to pick on an animal. I mean, obviously, Sports Cheetah is doing it. That was literally Sports Cheetah was the first gambling Twitter account I followed. And I was like, that's the cool thing to do. Cool. So I'll use my whale moniker from my time in college. And white whale, there was obviously a million white whales already. So I just went with Whale Capper. That's the story.
Awesome. Great stuff. Secondly, I wanted to know your thoughts on my horrible Washington football team. Whose heads are going to roll? What is going to happen? Is Fitzmagic going to come and give us some magic towards the end of the year, or are we just pretty much toast, as I believe we are?
Man, I can tell you this. Your chances for a playoff spot are not dead. Despite the record, despite the performances against the spread, the 7th seed in the NFC is completely up for grabs. And the Washington football team's schedule, as horrific as it has been and continues to be for a couple more weeks, eventually gets soft. In fact, after their bye week, they play Tampa Bay. Not a bad spot to play Tampa Bay if you're going to have to play them coming out of your bye. But then things get good. Realistically, you have decent chances to get wins at the Panthers, home against the Seahawks, at the Raiders, and then you finish with 5 straight NFC East opponents. Fitzmagic back or Heineke show, probably a neutral If anything, a small upgrade if Fitzpatrick does come back. I would expect he forces his way back in if he's healthy, because he's a guy that obviously wants to play. He loves football. However, is that enough to get you wins against the likes of the Dallas Cowboys? If Dak's playing like he's playing, probably not. But Eagles, Giants, you should be able to beat. And then, like I said, those games against the Panthers, Seahawks, and Raiders are toss-ups. I think 8-9 has you in the discussion for a wild card in the NFC, as pathetic as that is. That's just kind of the state of things right now. I mean, the Bears made it last year with the 500 record. And they're going to be, that's who you're competing with. The likes of the Bears, likes of the Falcons, likes of the Panthers. Like, these teams are all terrible. And, as we get into the cooler months, the defense should become a bigger factor. Pass rush should be able to get some wins. In 1v1, you really just need to catch some breaks. The last 2 weeks, you could make a very sincere case that they should have beaten both the Packers and the Broncos. Certainly the Packers. They outgained them. They outgained the Broncos. They had like 5 more first downs than the Broncos. They find difficult ways to take points off the board. It's almost like Chargers-esque from like the last couple of years. You remember with Chargers would missing field goals at inopportune times and red zone turnovers and things like that. But the pieces are in place to be able to compete. Certainly Terry McLaurin's having a nice breakout season. They got a decent running back duo, although obviously Gibson's not 100%. I think if they can find any cohesion in their secondary and the pass rush can start getting some wins, then I think Washington probably can convince themselves, hey, we're going to get up into the 8-9 range and threaten for that 7 seed in the NFC. So I don't think the season's over yet. But certainly, I'd say if you really need to circle that 3-game stretch: Panthers, Seahawks, Raiders. If they come out of that 1-2 or 0-3, then that's a wrap. But if they can be 2-1 or 3-0 there, then I think Washington's still in the mix realistically. And who ultimately pays the price is a different question. What would you say? Like, do you feel like this is on Ron Rivera, or do you feel like this is more the way the roster was put together?
I don't know. I'm not feeling Ron at all. Obviously we need a quarterback. It all starts with the quarterback to me. So, Heineke is horrible to me. I just don't like the way. I like his feet. If he makes a good decision, he's not consistent enough for me. And so, we'll see what happens. But I'm glad you give me hope for my team, and we'll see how that goes. And lastly, now, can you find me odds on Devontae Booker anytime touchdown for tonight's football game?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a fun one. Where did you come up with that?
He's trying to get out to an early
we
lead.
do that all the time here. We do that all the time here, right, Qwan? Qwan knows.
He's trying to be at the top of the leaderboard and stay there.
Run away with the lead. I love it.
Yeah, start off.
Let's see. Let's find a price here. Best price for Devontae Booker, anytime touchdown scoring marker. Let's see. I guess while I'm looking, what is your general read on this game tonight? You got a feel?
I like the points. Kansas City's not. I mean, like Patrick said, their defense stinks. I think there's always a good opportunity for a backdoor in some way. They're not very good against the number, but I also know that Kansas City needs to get on track somehow, some way, or their season may be in jeopardy. Not jeopardy, but I just think that there's always the opportunity for that backdoor to be open, and so I would take those points tonight which I actually am going to go bet that with my real money.
How about if I guess so? You're saying if it's like a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter, like you're firing Giants live at like plus 16.5 or whatever. You're not worried about it.
I got to see how the game looks. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to see.
Okay. So here's your prices for Devontae Booker.
Okay.
Anytime score is actually only plus 115. First touchdown score is. Sorry, Sorry, my font's too small. Plus 850. Last touchdown scores plus 850. So people are onto this. People are onto Devontae Booker. They think he's going to get some red zone chances today.
Well, I'll start late for the. Listen, Qwan knows that I am due to win a month. I said it, Qwan. Yes, I am due. They have a bet. Him and
Carlos,
Preston
you're
have a
costing
bet
me money.
that I will win a month. They have
never-
a bet that I will win one of these months before the year is out.
Okay.
I'm already won the most money at betting extraordinaire, and now I need to win a month. So let's go. I'll take the plus 115 anytime touchdown.
Okay. Devontae Booker, plus 115 anytime touchdown score for Carlos. Carlos, enjoy the great nation's capital. Love D.C. I was born and raised there. Soft spot in my heart for D.C. So best of luck to you, and best of luck to the Washington football team. Funny story. First Super Bowl I ever really cared about. Washington beat the Bills.
Yes.
That was a great one. Also, funny story. I've met Joe Theismann twice in my life. Once when I was 2, my grandmother took me over to him at a bar and got me an autograph on a cocktail napkin.
There we go.
And I think it was in Alexandria, Virginia. And then later on, as an adult, I met him and I said, "Hey, I met you when I was 2. I got your autograph." And he was like, "Oh, it's great to see you again." He let me try on his Super Bowl ring. I was like, "This is a great moment." We got some good photos together. So, soft spot for the Washington football team.
I love it. That was a good catch too.
Yeah.
we got Cam in New Jersey. Cam in New Jersey's up.
Cam, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, we're loving it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the college slate for this week. I'm gonna go Purdue on the money line.
Ooh, interesting. Let's see what the best price available is now. Does Preston usually pull best price available, or does he look for consensus?
Unless the callers have it.
Usually tries to find the best
Okay,
price.
cool. Okay, let's find the best price available for.
I'm seeing plus 130 on.
What's the angle on this? I'm curious now.
I just Michigan State is just the Michigan outgained them by almost 200 yards. Michigan just couldn't score enough in the red zone. They settled for so many field goals.
Yeah,
and
classic Harbaugh.
Collapsed on defense in the second half. Even you go back to the Nebraska game, Indiana game, Michigan State could have easily. Nebraska outplayed them the whole game. Just Scott Frost, just every week finds a way to lose. And just coming off the Michigan game, big rivalry, beating, the team that's basically owned you for the past however many years. I just think it's a big, big letdown spot for them. And Purdue has played pretty well this year. They went into Iowa and dominated. I know Iowa hasn't looked as good as of late, but I just think it's a bad spot for Michigan State, who has a tough schedule to end the year.
Nope, that's a great point.
At Purdue,
and
then
Purdue,
Maryland,
they've been playing spoiler. They spoiled Iowa's perfect season. That derailed them. This sets up well for them. Best price I can find available, looking at Penny right now, has plus 133. Should we lock them in?
Yeah, I'll take that over the plus 3.
All right, good deal.
Outright win for Purdue.
Good deal. Thank you, Cam. Purdue moneyline plus 133. Good breakdown. And I do think you're getting a decent letdown spot potentially for the old Spartans here. So, Qwan, who else we got that wants to get on the leaderboard?
We got Hayden and Dallas.
Ooh, okay, Hayden. How about them Cowboys,
Hey,
Hayden?
How about them Cowboys, Drew?
That was something, man.
Qwan knows I call in occasionally, and I always bet on the Cowboys. So 6-0 so far. So I have to do something Cowboy related, of course. So I'm just gonna do a long teaser: Cowboys down, and then Browns up.
Ooh, nice. We talked a lot about that Dallas look and the fact that checks every box. What is the word on Dak's availability down in Dallas?
The word is he should have played. I think from what I heard is that he was good to go. I mean, he did that intense workout and he didn't play. Kind of weird to me. I think the announcer said it too, if you want to take the announcer's word for anything. But he should be all right,
Yeah.
And if he is, if he played last night, he should have won by 17 points. So
I know it. I'll tell you this.
I mean, they scored what 20? They're scoring what high 30s with Dak? Anybody?
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. I'll tell you this. I heard from some people on the team, people around the team, everybody expected Dak to actually go. The fact that they pulled the rug and gave it to Cooper Rush, I almost want to think this is Dallas. They're like, hey, we can beat Minnesota with Cooper Rush, so let's give Dak a week to get right. So yeah, I would agree with you. I do think they bring Dak back out, especially he doesn't have to go up against Von Miller now. In fact, the pass rush for Denver is entirely toothless. No linebackers, no front seven really to speak of for the Broncos. So this should be a nice spot for Dallas to get right, or to continue to play amazingly, realistically. And then decent spot for Cleveland to get right too. Teasing them out past 7 is pretty solid. So that's a good look by you.
Yep, that's my thinking. Go Cowboys.
All right, so Qwan, you got Hayden locked in on the 2-leg Wong teaser, Dallas Cleveland. All right, good deal. Good luck, Hayden. Best of luck.
Peace.
Yeah, I hope Cleveland bounces back. They kind of, that performance yesterday and what they did to their playoff chances was not great.
I feel like the AFC North is really close. Like
it is.
With the Ravens losing, who did they lose to?
They got smoked by the Bengals.
Yeah.
Who couldn't even beat the Jets.
Yeah. We got Tom Davis up.
All right, Tom. Let's welcome Tom Davis. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. What would you like to get me up on the board?
Well, I got a question for you. Do you like to feel the losses, or do you consider the wins more? Because yesterday, them Fins in Miami really let us down late, I believe.
Yeah.
But we got the Jets in there. I was trying to pull the Jets in, and I look up, and lo and behold, the Bills done put it on the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins' loss hurt more than the Jets' win was good. If that answers your question. The Dolphins' loss was especially painful because it had to go down a certain way to not cover that number. And on third and goal, the Bills win if they just take a knee there and kick the field goal. They win. They didn't really need to force their way in for a touchdown and get the cover. So that was a little tilting, I will say. I was excited for Mike White. I was excited for the Jets. I was excited that, that was huge leverage in Survivor Pool. Anyone who's in the Survivor Pool, that was the most meaningful outcome of the season so far. But even still, I wanted that Dolphins covered pretty badly. So that was tough. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it was about the same exact situation, but at least we got the money line and the Jets in there.
Yeah, that was nice. That was really nice, actually.
All right. I'm looking at 3 games. You can pick which one you want to talk about. Tennessee, Kentucky, Auburn A&M, and Georgia Tech, Miami.
Okay. What's your angle on Tennessee, Kentucky?
I think Kentucky's folding up shop. They on the way down, and Tennessee's on the way up from what I can read down here.
Okay. You think we get a healthy hooker at QB?
That's what I'm hearing, but you know how that goes. Believe what you see, not what you hear.
I like it. You got some connections to the Volunteer Navy. It sounds like by your accent. So I will. I think you're on the right side there. Tennessee's and what Heupel is doing, that program is super positive. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with during his tenure in Knoxville. So that's a good look. Do you want to put? Are we putting Tom on the board with Tennessee moneyline?
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning for. Is
okay. Best I can find you. I'm looking at Caesars. I got him plus 110 on the money line. Does that work for you?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, they'll hit it straight up. Yeah, I like the money line better than the point.
Yeah, so far in the points spread right now, looks like you'd have to lay a little juice to get 2.5. Not so sure that's worth it. So
no, I want them head up.
I like it, man.
Stick with the money line.
Best price available, Tennessee plus 110 on the money line. You got it, Qwan?
Yep, we're good.
Awesome, man. Thanks for calling, Tom. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to Tennessee.
All right,
Who
bro.
else?
Peace.
Yeah. Who else we got?
We got Ty, our monthly winner.
Ty, welcome to Last Word Cheetah. All I would like to know is who scores the first touchdown tonight?
That's a good question, man. I got a good feeling about Kadarius Toney tonight.
Oh, I like that. As first touchdown scorer anytime.
I mean, what I want to take today for the show is FanDuel has him 90-plus yards tonight at plus 430.
Ooh. See, this is smart. Okay, now I'm understanding how you win a very intense competition like this. You can find outside the box alt props because Tony. One of two things happens: either Tony's healthy and he's absolutely dynamic against a very suspect Chiefs defense, or they don't target him much. And so there's really no point in betting a 50-50 prop around what is standard prop, like 40 yards ish.
52.
Okay. So yeah, all you need is him to break one play, and then all of a sudden 90 is within reach, and you're getting, you're getting 4-1 or better. Then and that makes all the sense in the world. That's a great look, Ty. Congratulations again, by the way. What was the most memorable part of your October run? Out of curiosity.
I was probably sitting at home on the couch watching the Geno Smith-led Seahawks, and I think the corner for maybe the Saints took a gamble, and DK Metcalf went about 90 yards maybe, or maybe high 80s for the first touchdown at 10-1. So that was a deal breaker for me.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. Yeah, Lattimore did gamble, and DK Metcalf put him on his face, caught the ball, never looked back. That guy's got some freaking straight line speed if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, the best part about that was I had two guys in mind. I had DK and a Saints wide receiver, and I asked Preston to spin the wheel that he uses when he needs to make a decision on which one of his two kids is going to get something. I don't know what he uses it for at home, but he spun the wheel. It showed up Metcalf. It worked for me, and then on the last day of the month, I had him, or actually no, maybe it was Thursday Night Football. I had him spin again for anytime touchdown, Chase Edmonds or Randall Cobb. Both guys ended up scoring. The first spin kind of glitched out and it went Edmonds, so he didn't really like that. Of course, Edmonds scored right away
he was first touchdown scorer, right?
But yeah, we ended up going with Cobb, and he scored twice. So the wheel never fails. But yeah, I think tonight, there's all sorts of props on Toney on DK and FanDuel. That's the one I like the most. There are some pretty crazy ones like 125 yards and a touchdown at like 25-1, which I may throw some lunch money on the apps.
Right now I'm seeing Toney 25-1 first touchdown score, plus 350 to anytime touchdown score. So that sounds like a plus EV move to me. Good job, Ty. Congratulations again. What was the price again? Was it plus 430 for over 90 and a half yards?
Yeah, I have, let's see. I have plus 430 for 90 yards or more.
Okay. Got it. All right. So 89 and a half yards, plus 440. Plus 430 for Kadarius Toney. Good stuff. Best of luck, Ty. Thank you again, and congratulations on the big win, man. Huge.
Thanks, man. Have a good afternoon.
All right, let's keep going down the caller list. I'm super fired up that all you guys are active on this Monday. Everybody wants to get on the new fresh leaderboard, be at the top of the board to start the month.
We got Jim in Philly.
Eagles coming off of an white hot performance in Motown on Sunday. Congratulations to your Eagles, Jim, if you care for them.
No, that was like the worst case scenario for me as a fan.
Oh, okay. You want some change. You don't want the Jalen Hurts era to solidify, it sounds like.
No. No, I'm good. I actually was going to bet the Chargers today, but before it got to 3, but I'm so far off that number, I can let it get to 3. We'll see what happens tomorrow with that. I'm going to take Denver here, plus 8.5.
Ooh, interesting. What's the angle on Denver?
It's like a number thing for me. Even with Dak, I'm not close there on 8.5. And it would be a nice number to have just in case he doesn't play. Like, I think 8.5 is based on him playing, and I just think it's a little bloated. And if he weren't to play, I'd rather have, be there with the 8.5 because it'll probably go down.
Okay. Here's a key question for you.
That's just
Huge
I'm
question.
At with that.
Huge question. Do you want the best price on 8.5, or do you want 9.5, which is out there at a couple shops right now with the flat numbers, flat 110?
Oh, really? It's 9.5
Well,
somewhere?
WinBet's hanging 9.5. Westgate's hanging 9.5. I think there's probably a little bit of Cowboys tax in Vegas, maybe.
What is the best price on 8.5 then?
Minus 104, best I'm showing. 8.5 minus 104. So, 9's obviously worth virtually nothing. So I don't think they. In fact, maybe 9.5 might be teaser protection. That actually might be what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take the 8.5 minus 104 then.
All right, let's do it. We'll lock in Jim, and we'll keep a lookout for the Chargers, which is the biggest. Interesting game. Can't wait to see what the Chargers roll out against the Philly defense that they should be able to take to task.
I mean, 2.5's criminal. Like, anybody who's even thinking about betting the Eagles should stop.
Like, give us a fly, Eagles fly. That's a big win, man.
That was a big win.
Qwan, they suck. Like, they literally got waxed by every good quarterback. They play a terrible vanilla defense, and now they have Justin Herbert. Like, and the matchup alone, like, it's just you cannot play the Eagles.
Listen, you know what they have to do. They have to be flowers, and they have to grow.
Yes. Fertilize.
So the Chargers can't stop a nosebleed on the ground right now. Their rushing defense is awful.
Yeah.
Any interest in
the
the
Eagles don't run the ball.
The Eagles won't run. Okay.
He hates them.
I'm telling you, no, they will not run. I promise you, they will not run the ball, and especially if the Chargers do get a lead because we play vanilla shell coverage and Justin Herbert picks them apart. They can't throw the ball, so the Chargers have. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Okay, so
I'll
this
take them tomorrow.
Okay, so you think this feels like the Raiders Eagles all over again?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Jim, we appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the Denver Broncos and your 8.5. Let's keep on trucking down the board here. Who else we got?
We got Mike in New Jersey.
Mike in New Jersey. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. What would you like to put us on the board for you?
How's it going? New month, new strategy. I think I'm going to go a little bit more high variance this month, which is going to include a lot of golf picks and a lot of touchdown scores.
Fun month.
So today I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to start on golf yet. I'll probably put in a golf pick tomorrow. Today I'm going to go with an anytime touchdown scorer in the Giants-Chiefs game. And the Chiefs have let a touchdown to a tight end 4 weeks in a row.
Ooh.
The number one targets leader for the Giants in the red zone is a tight end, as well as Sterling Shepard. And it's not Evan Ingram. It's the big body Kyle Rudolph, who you can get any time to score at plus 1,000.
Wow. Good look. That is a fun wrinkle. So Mike is on the board. Mike from New Jersey. Thank you as always. Kyle Rudolph, anytime touchdown scorer, 10-1 tonight and Monday Night Football. That's a fun look.
They're trying to win. They're trying to win on day one. I think everybody got their strategy hammered out like the last few weeks of the October month. So like he said, we got a lot of golf winners and a lot of anytime TDs and first TDs. So I think that's going to be the look moving forward. We got Hunter B. is a relatively new caller.
Hunter, welcome to Last Word Cheetah. Hopefully you're not looking for Cullen Gillespie, first touchdown scorer, 100-1.
I am not. Unlike Mike, I am going to start the month off with a golf pick, though.
Ooh, who you got?
I'm going to take Ches Reavie, top 20 in the Mayakoba. I showed 425. I'm not sure where it is now.
Okay, Ches Reavie.
If you would.
Gotcha. I can give you 425 on that.
So this course, it really rewards driving accuracy, and
Okay.
Ches has been probably the most accurate driver of the golf ball on the planet in his last 25 rounds. And he's, strokes gained approach is important in every PGA Tour event, and he's consistently inside the top 25. So that's the handicap.
I love it, man.
I think the fair price is probably closer to plus 250. So pretty good edge there.
I see a couple of market makers are moving on him, so I think you're ahead of the number on this, and that's a very, very strong read. Ches Reavie, top 20, Mayakoba. What price did we quote you? Plus 425. Very good. All right, Hunter.
I do have one question for you, too.
Sure, what's up?
Just a quick question. Yeah,
Go
so
for it.
what do you think the Saints ought to do at quarterback? My New Orleans Saints. I am not a believer in the Taysom Hill experience. I think it could be different if he's your true QB1, but I've not been really impressed over the last couple of years. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not. I think you have to look long arc. I really don't know what the plan is there. They have no space, not a lot of maneuverability.
Right.
I don't think the quarterback on their roster, healthy right now, is getting them to a playoff win. So at this point, you realistically need to, make the most of what you got for your team and your fans. But I don't know. There was some stuff floated around that they may kick the tires on a Teddy Bridgewater deal, see if they can get the Broncos to eat Bridgewater's contract and then bring him in, not unlike what they just did with the Rams. And I don't mind entirely going down that road since he's familiar with the offense. But realistically, is that the long-term answer at QB for you? What are you doing next year? What's the long-term plan? You're not going to have draft assets high enough to get a good guy. The next year's draft class looks like it's a poor quarterback year anyway. So realistically, you're going to potentially waste the prime of all of these young, really good players you have across the offensive line and across this defense just because you don't have a final answer at quarterback. Maybe you can twist the arm of an Aaron Rodgers or something this offseason to come down and play for you, play for Sean Payton. I don't really know what their plan is long-term here. And I think of what I've heard, what I would consider, I would give the Texans a call about Tyrod Taylor potentially. I would give the Broncos a call about Teddy Bridgewater, or I would just accept the fact that this year, at best, you're making a playoff and losing in the wild card round.
Any chance you could, or they could talk somebody out of semi-retirement like a Cam Newton, or I don't know if I would call Phil Rivers semi-retired, but
I don't know that
any
Cam Newton's
chance
arm
they
is.
go down that road in your view? Yeah.
Well, see, so one of the problems with Cam Newton is I don't know that you have I don't think you have the salary cap flexibility to bring him in. I don't think he's going to play for $800K or whatever.
Peanuts, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of in trouble in trying to bring in anyone, that you're not bringing in via trade, where you get the, you up your compensation and get the trading team to eat the money. But
got it. All right, thanks, Drew.
Yeah, Cam would be interesting in this system because he can do basically exactly what Jameis Winston was doing, but gives you the added wrinkle of getting first downs on the ground more frequently. So that'll be interesting. Let's keep moving. Good hypothetical, though. Talking about that, I love it.
We got Big B's up. Actually, excuse me, Jamie in Atlanta.
Jamie in Atlanta, welcome to Last Word Cheetah. What would you like us to put you on the board?
Hey there. So, Qwan, congrats on the big win.
You know it.
Sorry I ever doubted you.
I appreciate the
Glad you guys covered the spread.
I took it. Listen,
good teams
I took
win,
a knee.
great teams cover.
I took a knee at halftime. We were up, I think 14-0 or 13-0, and I was like, ha! I forgot what the total was, but I had to put put the gas on in the second half.
I love it.
Well done, sir. Better than my Braves last night. I was at the game. It was fun for a second, and then just 2 runs in the top of the second took the wind out of the place. And then when the Astros tied it back up, even with the Freddie Freeman home run, the place just never got going again. I think everybody knew it was inevitable. So we'll see. I like that we got Fried and Anderson left, go win 1-2, but this is Atlanta sports. They'll find a way. So, Drew, I wanted to ask you a question. Was curious. I know I've heard you talk with Rob and those guys about NFL. Not sure how much college you do, but I was curious your thoughts on the Marshall game against FAU, other side. Was a little. I kind of have it right about where the number is, but was kind of leaning Marshall, and I was curious your thoughts if you had any.
It's interesting. I don't originate a lot of college football myself. I mostly just listen to smart people and try to suss out some injury information. College football is one of those markets where the market's going to be a little slower to injuries, so you can catch a hot tip on a guy who matters being out. Also in the NFL, like quarterbacks matter, cluster injuries matter, and that's about it. But in a lot of some of these smaller games, it is, hey, this D lineman matters. Hey, this wide receiver matters. And if you know people that know that sort of stuff, then that's usually where I'm firing away. Interesting low number here for Marshall. 1.5 point favorites right now. Looks like it's kind of been batting, kind of getting batted around in this range between pick and 3. Doesn't look like there's going to be a 3 at any point here. Market seems to want this 1.5 to be the operating price. Florida Atlantic is not a team that I have a ton of respect for. I've seen Marshall play a handful of games this season and put up some pretty impressive offense. I think they likely the right side here. I would circle this market and watch it throughout the week. It's one of these games, 3:00 p.m. On Saturday, kind of lower down the card. Not going to get a ton of attention by the betting market, so fun one to break down.
Fair enough. Actually, I have a question for you. I've been meaning to kind of ask Preston, but you brought up like watching markets. So, you'll see a lot of these people on Twitter or whatever talk about like bet percentages, public, sure, like whatever, moving the line. And I've kind of learned to just tune all that out. Like, I think it's kind of garbage, but like in your experience, opinion, whatever, like, is it kind of like what it takes to move a market is just that like, a group likes it or like kind of a known account hits something, or like, I guess it can just be like a lot of volume. Like in general, like what does it take to move a market? Like, is it just like a bunch of public money, or does it tend to be more like, kind of a known better group, whatever?
Yeah, each market is unique for sure. And when you get into some of the smaller markets and some of the lower handle games in college football, college basketball, even in the NBA to that degree, it can only, a limit bet by 1 or 2 sharp players or groups will be enough to move the number. It doesn't take much at all, actually. In fact, you can be out there firing limit bets in the NFL if you have if you're a well-respected player, you could probably be moving NFL numbers on, Monday, Tuesday, as limits are a little lower. As you get later into the week, it takes significant sharp action to really move a number. I think Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football are kind of unique because the handle on those gets so enormous that you can have some volume effect. I would expect that they keep a close eye on what the liability is in-house, just based on, because what you're talking about when you're saying public, you're saying like, 50,000 players all go bet $50. That's their opinion's not well respected. If it's all on one side, you could be setting up a pretty serious liability. And but that is really only manifests in some standalone games. Usually in the in the games that are Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, anything that you see, any day of late moves, that was almost certainly a very, very well-respected player making a very large bet. And I think, you can kind of gauge, just gauge any given market based on, how large the handle is. I think for the most part, any of the discussion around bet percentages and the public's on this and the book needs this, all that's filler. None of that is real signal. There are a handful of players, handful of groups that really kind of make a lot of these markets ultimately. So what do you think about putting you on the board for Marshall? I just messaged one of my guys what his fair price was. He says it's Marshall 4.2.
All right, that's fair. I think I might come back to it. I think that price will stick around. I usually try to grab stuff on Monday. I think it's going to move. So I'm going to take ODU -2.5, actually.
Ooh, that's
I might grab that Marshall tomorrow.
Nice.
But, I like ODU at 2.5. There's still a couple hanging around, but I think it'll be all 3 tomorrow.
I love it. So
I make
what's
that
cool about
closer to a touchdown.
You make that one a touchdown? Okay. So you're going against Florida, FIU and FAU this week.
That's right. Fade the secondary Florida schools.
I like it, man. What's nice about this is you can get 2.5 now. Circa, which leads the market earlier in the week, is at 3. This is probably going to 3. I think that's a shoot. That's a sharp play. So we'll get 2.5 on the board for you at a flat -110 for Old Dominion. Let's keep moving.
Perfect. Thanks, Drew. Have a good one.
All right, best of luck, man.
We got last 2 callers. Vic B's up, and then we're going to end with Nick. Got Vic B.
Big B. Welcome.
Vic B.
Vic B, excuse me.
Yeah,
they said Big B.
Victor.
Vic B. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. What you got for us?
Hello. I was looking to keep riding this Mike White wave. What's the best number I could get for the Jets on Thursday Night Football?
Ooh, best number I can get you right now, 10.5. That's kind of amazing that's out there. Actually, we can give you I can give you a flat 11. Amazingly, looks like
if I could get 11, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll give you 11 for the Mike White Jets. You think he's got it on the road, huh?
All right. Well, honestly, the Colts they run some ball control. They have a really good defense, but I'm just looking for Mike White to keep it going. Maybe the Jets can keep it close. I don't really expect them to win, but maybe they can keep it closer.
11 is a big number in the NFL, and the New York Jets play hard, so I like it, man. All right, good deal, Vic. We'll get him Jets plus 11 points. Mike White, the Fighting Mike Whites on Thursday Night Football.
Right. All right,
man. Best of luck.
All right, last caller is Nick in Iowa.
Nick in Iowa, welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. What do you got for us?
Thank you. Yes, and glad to have you aboard, Drew. And I hate to do this to Qwan, but somebody's got to play Maction here on the show still. And I'm sorry, Qwan. I do like Tim Lester, but I got to play against him here. I'm going to take Central Michigan plus 10.
Ooh, I like that look. I was surprised at this number, I'll be honest with you. I thought this was going to be a touchdown kind of a game. My fare was 7.5. So I like that you're getting 10.
Literally exactly what my number was 7.5. Yeah.
Nice, Nick. Anything? Has there been anything interesting in action so far, or really it kicks off in sincerity this week?
It kicks off in sincerity this week on Tuesday. Yeah.
Cool.
And
so, I'm gonna tell Coach Lester you went against him, Nick.
That's okay. Hey, and I'll be honest. No, I really do like Lester. I genuinely do, in all seriousness. But this is just a number that's I got a little bit too high. The other thing also is I noticed I looked at Bill Conley's SP Plus update. Just this. We came out on Sunday. Western Michigan, 130th out of 130 in special teams, and I started looking up a little bit more in some of the Western special team stuff. They're dead last in kick return, punt return in the MAC, and they basically have their punter kicking short field goals and PATs, and he's pretty much terrible. They have no range, and they have no special teams right now at all. They can punt. That's about it.
Wow.
And so So yeah, anyways, it's in one of those things where, like, Central's playing everybody down to one possession. I mean, that's classic Jim McElwain, it seems like, in his tenure. Plays everything at one possession, and Western's got no special teams right now. So anyways, yeah, so got to roll with Central on this one.
I like it, man. I think that closes under the 10, so you did a good job getting that key number, and it might matter because there may be missed extra points on behalf of Western Michigan. And actually, it wouldn't be a Maction finale without some absolute foolishness in the special teams part of things. So I think that's going to be a fun one to watch, and that's the evening matchup in Maction on Wednesday. So.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Hopefully you have a fun one, and yeah, good to have you. Good to have you aboard, Drew, and good talking to you.
Hey, thanks, Nick, and best of luck to you. I think that wraps it up. Did we get to everyone?
Have a good one.
We did. Before we log off or sign off, we got some chat bets. Hold on, let me bring it up here. We got Fran Blackhawks money line -135. Joey took the Chiefs and the money line. He needled Ty a little bit for copying his pick, so you guys can argue about that. Evan Ingram from Paul over 30.5 receiving yards tonight, and then Brian from New York took KC money line, and that's it.
Interesting. So some people are using the starting out. They just want to start out with the win.
Well, I think Joey was he lost by like 0.1, 0.01 or 0.1, and Ty copied his pick, so there was no way for him to win. So he went 17-2, and I think he said he's going with a different strategy. But you got some people, they're going anytime touchdowns. They saw that was pretty profitable.
Okay.
So they're trying to get out to an early lead and then maintain. I like that strategy.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to Joey. 17-2 is an extremely impressive accomplishment, irrespective of not winning the pool. That's freaking awesome.
It's tough. Yeah.
Good job, man. Good job.
You did a great job today, Drew.
Well, thank you, Qwan. I have all the support in the world from the excellent production of Qwan Young.
There was somebody who said they enjoyed the conversations, even though they couldn't get through, just because everything was so scintillating as far as what you guys are talking about.
I like it, man. Well, this is a great format. This is a great show. Very cool to be part of something like this, and can't wait to have another chance to do this. Sign off.
We're here.
All right.
Tomorrow, just some housekeeping stuff. It'll be me that you guys are calling in and talking to.
Nice.
So please take it easy on me. On Wednesday, we got Matt Landis. And then Thursday, it's me again. And we might have somebody else on Friday, but then it might be me. We don't know yet. But thanks to Drew Dinsick, Will Capper, for hosting today. Great job. Excellent job.
All right. Best of luck. And that wraps Last Word, Cheetah.